What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with breaking news hot off the press. So it looked like the WNBA players and owners has come up with a new agreement. Now, I'm not here to say that we still going to have a 2026 season, but they have come up with some type of agreement. I'm still trying to dissect everything, man. We're going to start this video off a little different. So we're going to jump right into this story. So Ramona Shelburne, I believe she is a reporter for ESPN, senior writer for ESPN. She released a tweet about 37 minutes ago. It stated the WNBA and WBPA have reached an agreement on
The WNBA just announced a groundbreaking agreement between players and owners, sending shockwaves through the league. But what looked like a monumental step forward for a sport on the cusp of unprecedented growth is actually a bitter pill. A desperate measure, masking a far darker truth. This isn't the game-changing deal fans hope for. It's a temporary bandage over a gaping wound, revealing deep fractures within the league at its most critical moment. The silence from key figures is deafening as the reality of this so-called agreement begins to sink in.
Capital, fishing, suspension, offering temporary relief, but potentially increasing debt as interest. So from my understanding, based off this little Motrum thing, hopefully I'm saying that right, they have decided to do. This is not giving us a 2026 season. I do want to be clear there. I believe they reached an agreement to this just a proper word to continue negotiations, if I'm reading this correctly. So as of right now, it's still basically they still don't have a WNBA CBA agreement.
This decision will define the future, but not in the way anyone anticipated. The promise of a new era hangs by a thread. Ramona Shelburne. ESPN's senior writer first broke the news a motrin for league business had been reached. For many, that word meant nothing, but a quick dive into its definition reveals a chilling reality: a temporary authorized suspension of activity or legal obligation. This isn't a new collective bargaining agreement, or CBA, nor does it guarantee a 2026 season. It's simply a pause. A desperate plea for more time to review, reconstruct, or address an urgent unresolved issue. This isn't progress. It's a concession that they're still stuck, unable to move forward until there was a new CBA agreement.
So I'm wondering if the players is doing this to stop free agency. That's what this tweet is saying. You know, somebody else said this is actually bad news for fans and coaches. Coaches will have to implement complex systems in a condensed offseason with very little time for players' development and chemistry building, which will hurt the product on the court. Now, sign replacement players. So that's what it's starting to look like, man. Maybe we could be getting a replacement situation similar to the 90 movie.
The reason for this drastic temporary measure cuts right to the core of the league's instability. Players and owners catastrophically failed to reach a new CBA agreement by the critical January 9th deadline. This wasn't just a missed appointment. It was a breakdown in negotiations that forced a complete halt without a new CBA. The league couldn't proceed with fundamental business, leaving everything in limbo. This wasn't a choice for mutual benefit. It was a consequence of their inability to find common ground, leaving the entire WNBA ecosystem in a dangerous state of uncertainty and chemistry building, which will hurt the product on a court now sign replacement players. The immediate fallout from this Motrum is devastatingly clear. Free agency is frozen solid. Teams cannot offer qualifying offers. Core designations, a critical tool for retaining star players, are off the table. Signings are completely halted.
And chemistry building, which will hurt the product on the court. Now, sign replacement players. So that's what it's starting to look like, man. Maybe we could be getting a replacement situation similar to the 90 movie that we seen with Keanu Reeves, The Replacements, because that's exactly what it's finna look like, man. And somebody said the first 8 words of this tweet had me thinking we were going somewhere else. Right, man. Like, it had got so bad, I straight had to Google what the word meant, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't even know what the damn word meant. Now, this is not a good look for the WNBA.
This means no player movement, no team building, No strategic planning for what should be an explosive offseason following a season of record-breaking viewership. The competitive landscape is now locked in amber, preventing teams from making crucial moves that could define their championship aspirations. The entire flow of the league's player market has simply ceased to exist. The fans. Speculation immediately flared about the players' motives. Some analysts, including those commenting on Alexa Filippo's retweet, wondered if this was a deliberate tactic to stop free agency altogether.
I had to Google what the word meant because I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't even know what the damn word meant. Now, this is not a good look for the WNBA players or owners, man. Y'all still can't come up with an agreement. Y'all still can't come up with a system in place to get us a 2026 season. Because basically what y'all saying is that we still at the negotiation table. We still haven't made any progress in the current state of the whole negotiation situation. This is ugly. This is not a good look for the WNBA players. This is not a good look for the owners. And guess who suffered? The fans is suffering.
Why would the players agree to a pause that handcuffs their own movement? Is this a negotiating ploy? A power move designed to pressure owners into a more favorable CBA? The implications are massive, suggesting a deep mistrust and a high-stakes gamble where both sides are willing to sacrifice immediate stability for perceived long-term gains. This isn't just a delay, it's potentially a strategic battle. For coaches and fans, this motrome is nothing short of disastrous. Coaches face the impossible task of implementing complex systems in a condensed offseason with virtually no time for player development or chemistry building. How do you prepare a competitive team when roster construction is paused indefinitely? The product on the court will inevitably suffer, leading to disjointed play and a diminished fan experience. This is a direct hit to the quality of the game, impacting everything from individual player growth to team cohesion. The excitement surrounding the league is now overshadowed by this profound uncertainty.
This is ugly. This is not a good look for the WNBA players. This is not a good look for the owners. And guess who suffered? The fans is suffering because we still don't know definitively if we even gonna have a 2026 season. Now y'all trying to use big words to try to say that, you know, maybe we is gonna have a 2026 season. We just gotta wait and see. And me personally, it's not a good look, man, because at the end of the day, fans and players need clarity. And it seemed like none of y'all know what the hell y'all doing, and we just sitting here.
The most alarming whispers suggest a scenario straight out of a movie. The possibility of replacement players if negotiations drag on indefinitely. Could the league be forced to field teams with temporary non-union players? It sounds like a plot from a 90s sports film, but the implications are terrifying for the WNBA's integrity and competitive balance. Such a move would fundamentally alter the league's identity, alienating fans and potentially destroying player morale. The thought alone is a stark reminder of how dire the situation truly is, hinting at a desperate future if a full agreement isn't reached soon. Across the board, the sentiment is unified. This is not a good look. It reflects poorly on both WNBA players and owners, showcasing an inability to come to terms on a crucial agreement at a pivotal moment for the league.
Man, because at the end of the day, fans and players need clarity. And it seemed like none of y'all know what the hell y'all doing, and we just sitting here now. Now we're just sitting here day in and day out. Y'all keep, once again, donkey in a carrot, bruh. Just looking very donkey in a carrot-ish. I just gotta be honest here with you guys. Let me see what Annie Constable said. Maybe Annie Constable might give us some more clarity on this. She stated the WNBA and WPA have agreed to a moratorium for league business specific for free agency. Put simply, qualifying offers or core destinations and signings will be paused for. So
this stalemate undermines confidence, both internally and externally. The frustration is palpable as stakeholders watch the league's momentum potentially dissipate due to internal squabbling. This isn't just a contractual dispute, it's a public relations nightmare, tarnishing the image of a sport striving for mainstream recognition. The core problem remains. Both sides are still at the negotiation table. But without any real progress, this moat room is effectively a timeout, not a breakthrough. It signals that despite months of talks, They haven't moved closer to a resolution on the CBA. The current state of affairs is stagnant.
Because we're not like we already like I don't know what the hell they doing, man, but this is ugly because we constantly hearing about the status quo thing. We already talked about the status quo time after time again for the last 3 damn days. I don't want to hear about the status quo no more. I want to hear about a deal getting done. And as of right now, a deal is not getting done. This is a very, very ugly situation, and it don't look like it's going to get better anytime soon. I want to know what y'all thoughts is down in the comment section right now. Keep them bells on. I will be back with more content. And until next time, man, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, bro. This WNBA stuff is getting ridiculous.
Lacking genuine advancement. This isn't just a delay. It's a concession that fundamental issues remain unresolved, perpetuating a cycle of uncertainty that cripples future planning and growth. The absence of tangible progress is the most concerning aspect of this entire situation. Ultimately, the fans are the ones suffering the most. We are left without clarity, unsure if there will even be a 2026 season. The excitement for the league's future, fueled by new talent and growing popularity, is now tempered by this fundamental uncertainty. Fans invest their time, passion, and money, only to be met with vague assurances and temporary fixes. This lack of transparency and decisive action breeds frustration and distrust, pushing away the very people who power the league's growth. The emotional toll on the loyal fan base is immense and entirely avoidable. The use of complex terms like moat room feels like an attempt to obscure the grim reality. Instead of clear, decisive communication, fans are given legalistic jargon that offers little comfort. It suggests a desire to manage optics rather than genuinely address the underlying problems. This linguistic obfuscation only deepens the sense of confusion and frustration. It's not about using big words to sound sophisticated. It's about providing genuine answers which are conspicuously absent. This plays into a perception of evasion, further eroding trust in leadership. Annie Costabile provided further confirmation, specifically stating that the moat room applies to free agency, meaning qualifying offers, core designations, and signings are paused. This reiterates the severe bottleneck created in player movement. It's not a minor adjustment, it's a full stop on the off-season player market. Her report solidifies the interpretation that this is a temporary freeze, not a step towards a new agreement. This explicit clarification from another trusted source leaves no doubt about the immediate, crippling impact on team operations. There were also reports that the WNBA Players Association initially felt the proposed agreement contained unnecessary language beyond simply delaying free agency. This detail highlights the deep-seated mistrust and contentious nature of the negotiation. Even a temporary pause required careful scrutiny to remove potentially harmful clauses, indicating that every step is a battle. It's not just about agreeing to a pause, it's about ensuring that the pause itself doesn't contain hidden pitfalls. This level of distrust makes future, more comprehensive agreements incredibly difficult to achieve. The moat room will only end when a new collective bargaining agreement is fully ratified. This critical point underscores the temporary nature of the current situation. It means the league is essentially on hold until a permanent solution is found. There's no set end date for this pause, creating an open-ended period of limbo. The pressure is now immense to finalize a CBA, but the continued stalemate suggests that resolution is still a distant hope. The entire system is effectively suspended, awaiting a breakthrough that seems perpetually out of reach. This entire glitch in the system stems directly from the missed January 9th deadline. That was the pivotal moment, the point of no return when the failure to reach a CBA triggered this cascade of consequences. Had that deadline been met, the league would be moving forward with free agency as planned. The current crisis is a direct result of that specific failure, not some unforeseeable circumstance. It was a known challenge, a clear target, and both sides simply couldn't meet the mark, leading to this regrettable impasse. Typically, the free agency period, including the sending out of qualifying offers, similar to an NFL franchise tag, begins around January 11th. This established timeline is now completely disrupted. Teams would normally be engaging with restricted free agents, those with 4 years of service or completing their rookie deals. This structured process, vital for player career progression and team stability, is now gone. The entire rhythm of the WNBA offseason, crucial for its operation, has been thrown into disarray, creating unprecedented challenges for everyone involved. In a league filled with talent, only 2 players, Lexi Brown and Kalani Brown, are currently not on rookie contracts signed through 2026 and are also outside the immediate impact of this free agency freeze. This stark reality illustrates just how widespread the effects of this moratorium are. Almost every other player is directly impacted by the halt in free agency, their future uncertain, their ability to negotiate new deals completely suspended. This situation traps talent, prevents market movement, and stunts individual career development in a critical period. The constant refrain of status quo has become infuriating for those following the situation closely. It means nothing is changing, nothing is improving, and the same unresolved issues continue to plague the league day after day. This isn't just frustrating, it's mentally exhausting for fans and players alike to hear the same non-progress reports repeatedly. The status quo is a euphemism for stagnation, a clear sign that genuine breakthroughs are eluding the negotiating parties, trapping the league in an endless cycle of inaction and uncertainty. This is a profoundly ugly situation, and there's no indication it will improve anytime soon. A deal is not getting done. The temporary moratorium only serves to highlight the severity of the underlying conflict, essentially kicking the can down the road rather than resolving it. The league, poised for explosive growth and mainstream attention, is instead mired in internal strife jeopardizing its future at a moment when it should be capitalizing on unprecedented popularity. This isn't just a bump in the road, it's a fundamental challenge to the WNBA's very foundation. The promise of a game-changing agreement, the one that could truly elevate the WNBA to new heights, remains unfulfilled. Instead, we're left with a temporary pause, a band-aid solution that only emphasizes the deep-seated issues between players and owners. This lack of clarity and decisive action, especially now when the league's potential is shined brighter than ever, is a profound disappointment. Fans, players, and the sport itself deserve better than this continued uncertainty. The WNBA's future hinges not on temporary fixes, but on a genuine, collaborative breakthrough that for now remains tragically out of reach.